Kenya, the most precious wealth is, with all certainty, its wildlife, both plants and animals. Tourism is about scarcity. The tourists who come to our country to enjoy our natural resources do so because what we have as our natural resource is not available to them back at their homes. But the tragedy with our tourism is that while everybody wants a piece of it, very few understand the need to conserve, or indeed the link between conservation and tourism. The most intense conservation efforts are concentrated around the endangered species, vigorously hunted down by poachers or wiped out as a result of human encroachment on wildlife habitat. The species threatened with extinction in Kenya include the African elephant, whose population has dropped from 167,000 in 1970 down to only 35,000 today. The other animal that could be wiped off the face of the earth is the gravy zebra, arguably one of the most beautiful animals of the world. It is only found in 2 countries in the world, Kenya and Ethiopia, with Ethiopia having 250, while Kenya has 2,000 gravy zebras.
We have other endangered species like the black rhino that Kenya only has 577 individuals, down from 20,000 plus when we had independence.
From the king of the jungle to the king of the sea, the mighty sharks, Kenya struggles to keep the greedy hands of poachers from exterminating God's gift to the country. In addition to national parks and reserves managed by local authorities, the idea of conservancies was mooted to encourage communities to conserve their wildlife.
The need to conserve is triggered by whether you're going to benefit or not. So as long as they benefit, they will conserve. And as long as they don't benefit, there is no need to conserve.
The Conservancy is a partnership between the conservation agencies like the Kenya Wildlife Service and the communities, where the communities donate their land for wildlife and tourism-based investment, and they in turn benefit either through employment or income sharing.
We are recognizing that the communities cannot be ignored.
But the national parks and the conservancies only cater for 30% of Kenya's wildlife. 70% of our wildlife is in unprotected areas, at the mercy of communities, hunters and poachers who kill for game meat, ivory or skins.
We want to make wildlife as a land use. Just like you will go and take a loan to plant eucalyptus plantation. Take a loan to start an ecotourism activity.
One challenge facing conservation effort is the inevitable tourist-based infrastructural development. In some areas, people are rushing to build near vital tourism sites, sometimes destroying wildlife breeding ground or blocking animal migration paths. The case in point is the blocking of the migration corridor at the Nairobi National Park. There is also the question of the pricing of Kenya's tourism products. Some argue that Kenya needs to charge more to sustain conservation, while others say high charges will discourage tourists.
$40 that we charge our tourists, to me, is quite low. If you compare our charges with a country like Rwanda, for example, that is only proud of the gorillas, they charge an hour $400 just to see the gorilla. But in Kenya, for example, if you go to Lake Nakuru National Park, you'll be able to see all the endangered species of the world. We are talking about the black rhino, the white rhino. You'll be able to see the giraffes, the buffaloes, and many other different species in a span of 30 minutes.
Tourism is also about culture, opening to the world and showcasing the uniqueness of the diverse communities and their artifacts.
Conservation has indeed a very special role in tourism. If conserved,